Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Friday, September 27th, 2024, and today's topic will be placing characters into scenes. And it'll be a continuation of what we've been working on this week, which is coming up with poses. All of this will be from imagination, by the way. Coming up with poses and what was yesterday? Something like multiple characters. So now we'll place characters into scenes. But yeah, just check out, like, I try to keep the videos kind of on the same topic for a little while. So I'm gonna start a 5-minute timer. If you're returning, you pretty much know that my thing is to do daily, like, sketch every day and set a 5-minute timer, and I'll usually do more, but sometimes 5 minutes is all you can do or all you need to do. If you're new, that's how it works. So yeah, placing characters in the scenes, I find that, so we're gonna stick with being sketchy and also thumbnailing so that we don't get lost in the details, and so we can be kind of quick about it. So I find that it helps to just draw a few boxes, just however you want. Let's just kind of see what we can come up with, like this. So again, since we are drawing from imagination, we have to be like pretty like loose about things. And by that I don't just mean loose in the like the line work, but also just mentally, just be more open, and like not committed to a specific thing. And that's for like coming up with ideas, like brainstorming, basically. That's probably a good term for it. So first, let's go over like the words here. So scenes, meaning, like, that's why I think like the boxes, like having a border helps, because it sort of creates a scene. And I've done a lot of different scenes of like landscapes, for example. So if you were to just kind of come up with a landscape, like a composition, like a thumbnail of a composition. So we'll go over several different things. Like, one is if you do this and like place them together like this. You'll notice that like you'll create a composition, and then you can use value. So just to keep it simple, you could decide, for example, I have to turn the paper here. You could decide that this part is like this, and then decide that like this part has like a gradation. So this works because the lighting is, so you're using value to separate, and you're using like the spacing. So So on this one, you might just want to thicken the line there. Same with this, you might want to go like that. So these are just value patterns. So this is something to play around with. And so that creates a scene and to place characters. And since we are drawing it small, you can just sort of scribble in something. And see how that works. You could throw in like a little bird, that kind of thing. So that's 5 minutes. So I'll spend however long it takes to like fill these up here, or more. So I'll start another 5-minute timer. I'm gonna cover different concepts. So you could take this, for example, and just do variations on it. And I'm not going to go through all of that, but like instead of like dark to light, you might do dark down here and like go the other way. Just play around with that. The next thing is, so this is like composition and value, and then to like come up with a scene, there's different approaches. One is you could think about like the perspective. So for example, I guess I'll go with this one. You could have like some lines that kind of go towards like a 1-point kind of perspective. And then just by using the line distance. So for example, if you were to go like this, you can have more like a more mechanical kind of feel to it, like this. And so that's just by using the scale, playing around with like the scale of things. And we're kind of faking the perspective, like this isn't precise. Like we're eyeballing the distance here. So for mechanical things, maybe it helps to have it look more mechanical, like more repetitive, because it's machine made kind of thing. Yeah, and just by using like the scale of the line work. And what you can do is blow this up, just use it as a guide, or just enlarge this somehow, like print it out, and then like do the perspective, because it's just basically 1-point perspective. Now if you want to place characters, I suppose you could put a ship, which is could be like a character. Play around with like the put a ship right here. So yeah, you can take this concept and do different variations on it. Just some ideas. It's pretty fun though. All right, that's 5 minutes. Time flies when you're sketching. Well, I used to have a problem sketching for 1 minute, and then I moved to 5 minutes, and now I can pretty much sketch for a long time. I'll start another 5-minute timer. So this is kind of like 1 point, because everything's going to the same vanishing point. You might like start with a like an object in the room. So if you have like for the story I'm writing, there's like a medieval bedroom type thing. So here it's like 2-point perspective, and again you can kind of fake it if you have to be more precise, like you can, like, but the vanishing points will be like way out here basically. So you could do it this way. Just come up with something. And then kind of like think about the scale, like if it's a bed, then maybe like that. This is good because it's pretty fun. I mean, you can come up with some interesting ideas that are more original than just looking up like other people's work. So here I'm just kind of faking the perspective. Like, I'm eyeballing it. If I really wanted to, like I said, I mean, if I were to like blow this up, I might like put, or just like, I mean, it depends on what you're gonna do with it. If I'm gonna put this into the computer, then I would just use like the grids that come with it, or like it would be easier on the computer. But these are thumbnails, and you can just kind of work out, like maybe if the lighting is like this, you might want to put like a window. kind of like that. All right. So we have like I guess a Western, a sci-fi, a fantasy, maybe like a modern. Could do one. So that's like kind of like a 2-point perspective because it's going, the vanishing points are over here. Here's kind of like 1 point, and here's sort of like flat, but using it's like receding. I mean, technically it's like 1 point. The other way to approach it is, so this is sort of using the perspective and the composition, and then just putting a character into it, like a focal point. The other way is like if you could have like a character. So let's just draw somebody real quick. So I'm just gonna make up some. So we can kind of, let's go off of like this as like a story. So that's 5 minutes. So you could do the thing where you could start with the character and like draw the stuff around it. So you could like create the perspective like that. And just kind of make up something. And so this one would be kind of like fake perspective. It's just based on like it's sort of like a stage play where you only create like what you need to create for the scene. Like it doesn't have to be, it's like we know that it's not realistic, like this is just there for the scene, but like for the story. And so this is more about the composition. So maybe this is like some kind of tapestry kind of thing. Just draw in some abstract shapes. Again, it depends on what you want to do with it. If you're going to paint this, I mean, that could just be some colors, like whatever. So kind of like that. So this, we built the background off of the character. What else? What else? So the next thing I'll do is you can just like come up with like random stuff. Like I have no idea. Like here. But then like once you have something, so for example, you could just place some characters right here, like, and then just use values to like make it look like something. So that's one way to do it. So if the shadows are here, then just throw down some shadows there, and then you can create like a scene that way. And then finally, to wrap things up, so you could like have kind of like an object here where maybe a car, I don't know. See what happens. Maybe like, oh yeah, the other way would be to change like the camera angle, so you could have it like go more like this. That could be one thing. So that way, see, you have a person, and then everything kind of goes upwards like this. Again, play around with the values. That's 5 minutes, and I'll start to wrap this up. So then you could have an upward angle. Kind of like that. Just some ideas. We could take like, so kind of to close out this video, like you could take these ideas and expand, just do different versions of them. So let's just to go over it, like this is just sort of using, it's like a landscape, and so it's using like the line distance and like the values. Here it's using mechanical kind of lines to suggest like more of a sci-fi look. This one is more of a kind of like focusing on an object in the room using 2-point perspective. Here we started with like the character and just sort of built the background around the character just for like the picture. Here we started with like randomness and just saw like what came out of that. Here we did like a different perspective, like we're looking upwards. So do that, and then I was gonna say, I forgot what I was gonna say, but hopefully that helped you out, and thanks for joining me today, and until next time, keep on sketching.